Deadpool and Wolverine. This is the official title for Deadpool 3, which is going to be the first and hopefully not the last, at least for me, hopefully not the last, Deadpool movie in the MCU. Now, a lot of people are really not happy with where the MCU is at. I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of indifferent. Like, post-Endgame, there's been some stuff I like, some stuff I don't like. There's been a couple things I think people are a little hard on. Like, I actually really like The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought that was fun. There certainly has been a drop-off of quality of a lot of stuff, especially, like, special effects. You know, like, movies are getting rushed out. They've been doing quantity over quality. And it does look like that's turning around a little bit, you know, kind of with a little bit of a new era. I'm really hoping, because Disney did release a statement a little bit ago saying they were going to kind of focus more again on quality, not putting out as many things. But Deadpool has been in the works for a long time. And if you've been paying any attention to the media around it, or maybe you've even been like on Twitter or anything, you've probably seen leaks. I'm not going to show them here because, one, I don't want to get in trouble, and two, a lot of people want to be surprised. But we've already seen things like Wolverine's outfit. We've seen things going on behind the scenes because for some reason they can't keep a lid on it with the actual shooting. And there's been a lot coming out around it. So people were really waiting to actually see some official looks at Deadpool 3, like something from the actual movie. And Ryan Reynolds has been tweeting out about it. It went up, I believe, on Instagram. It showed up during the Super Bowl. We actually saw a trailer. Now, I can't show everything from the trailer because of how the copyright rules work here, even though somehow some people can react in the corner and get no copyright strikes. I show like 6 seconds of something consecutively. I get one. I don't know how it works. It's odd to me. But I do think that this movie looks really, really cool. I will say that there is one little hang up on it that I think some people are going to be a little frustrated with, which is that it does seem to hinge a little bit on the understanding of the show Loki. I'm sure you can get around watching it, but a group shown actually in this trailer was the TVA. They're pretty much in charge of policing the timelines. And I actually think this is kind of cool because we were always wondering, how are they going to bring Deadpool into the MCU? We knew it was going to happen, but how? How do you even do that? So to actually see a really cool in-universe explanation, and to see Wade Wilson back at it funny as ever with Ryan Reynolds at the helm there, I think it looks great. I'm really loving the character design. I'm loving the costumes. The reveal for Wolverine, even though we already saw him, like pretty much everybody saw him online who was paying attention. If you didn't, good for you. Just don't go looking it up if you want to be surprised. The reveal for him in this trailer is really cool. They show a shot of him from behind in what looks like a restaurant, and they also show as well a silhouette of him with the claws coming out, and then his back, and we do see him in that yellow costume at the very end. What's interesting is we don't actually see a mask. I don't really know if there will be one. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm like really torn on this because I keep seeing people say like from behind the scenes, like leaks and all kinds of other stuff. I see people say things like, hey, this source said that there will be a mask or a helmet at some point in this movie. I've seen other people say, no, there won't. I've seen people say, well, wait, I found an image of it. And then it turns out to be an AI generated, like, clout chasing thing. So, like, who knows? But I'm just personally really excited. Like, I cannot tell you guys, as someone who grew up with the Fox X-Men universe, all of its faults and all of its greatness, Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, was a shining star in that universe. He was always like a beacon of light, like such a cool character. And he was flawed. He had so many problems. He was just a guy. And I made a video actually about this before, about how Wolverine, like understanding the cinematic version of Wolverine, following this version of the character, really helped me grow as a person. It helped me kind of realize that flawed people can be heroes, you know, even in this kind of live action media. Yeah, we see it in comics, but a lot of times in live action media, our heroes are painted as like larger than life, you know, they're painted as these really, really gigantic characters. And something I love about Wolverine is that he's a mess. You know, he's an alcoholic. He buries his feelings. He doesn't know how to deal with grief because he's experienced so much of it. And from the outside, he just kind of looks like a dick. But underneath all of that, he's kind of a softie. You know, like he still cares about children. He still cares about taking care of people. Even you see in Logan how he's still taking care of Professor X after all this time. He's a character that I really, really connected with and loved growing up. And to see him get sent off with Logan, it was a beautiful send-off. I loved it. But I always thought, you know, kind of like what Hugh Jackman said, where he had said that he would have wanted to keep being Wolverine if he could have shown up like with the Avengers or something. I always thought, man, it would have been so cool to see characters like this or Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in the MCU. You know, how would they interact with some of these characters? Yeah, a lot of them are dead now, so like some of that's out the window, but it's so cool like to actually see Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, in this yellow and blue suit, in his actual, a comic book-esque, I would say, at the very least, suit. Even Deadpool's suit is more, I would say, close to what the comic books were. And so it's really fun for me to see it. And there's so many jokes. There's a lot of meta jokes in here. I believe I saw a 20th Century Fox, like a huge statue of like the 20th Century Fox logo buried halfway in the ground, like Fox is dead kind of thing. And to hear, you know, Deadpool kind of making these jokes about saving the cinematic universe. What's funny is that's the point the MCU is kind of at. Like a lot of people are waiting for something to come around and save it. A lot of people are waiting for something to come around and be a big deal. Like, yeah, we got No Way Home, but a lot of you have told me you didn't even like it. I loved it. I thought it was great. But I guess maybe some of this like stuff I grew up with, you know, like I'm older than a lot of the audience now. A lot of people, they didn't grow up watching the Raimi Spider-Man films. Maybe they saw, you know, the John Watts is the MCU one. The Webb Spider-Man, which is always weird for me to wrap my head around that the director's last name was Webb. If that wasn't an intentional choice, I don't know what was. With the Amazing Spider-Man, you know, maybe some of you grew up seeing that. So seeing Andrew back was a treat for you in No Way Home, but maybe you didn't care about Toby. But like for me to have gone through all of these eras of Marvel, like when I was a kid, I was watching the 80s or 70s, I don't remember, Captain America, really shitty movie on TV, you know, with commercials and all. So like to have gone through all of these different eras of Marvel and see it coming back full circle with awesome action scenes, more comic book accurate outfits, actually seeing these characters interact on screen in more than just some CGI post-credit thing for Deadpool 2. It's cool. Like I'm seeing a world. I've lived to see a world where I have hair in my mouth from my cat, I guess. I don't know how that happened. That's gross. Must be in the air. I don't lick my cat. Popular, you know, contrary to popular belief, okay? After the Shane Dawson allegations, we all have to be very clear on what we do with our cats. So I got to be honest with that. Be very clear. Like for me, I guess to have gone through all of that, Fox X-Men, Raimi, Spider-Man, you know, the old weird Marvel movies before anything, weird spin-off stuff, like all of this, right? And to have gone through all of this and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man era with Sony, and even now the Venomverse being a thing, or the Morbiverse as cultured people call it, of course. You know, to see all of that, and now to see it come full circle with Hugh back, at the very least for this one film. And I'm hoping for Secret Wars as well. I'm hoping we see him, Andrew, and Toby back, you know, one more time as like a big hurrah. I know it's nostalgia. Like, I'm not blind. I'm not stupid. Like, of course I know that it's like a, he did the thing moment, but like, it's supposed to be fun. You know, these movies are supposed to be fun. And so for someone like me who grew up with all of this, to finally see these characters interacting on screen together and having a story together, and as somebody who loved both Deadpool movies, you know, are they perfect? No, nothing is. But I love both of them. And to see all of these characters back and kind of in this universe, even if it's just for a brief glimpse, I think it is kind of a saving grace of the MCU. You know, because for me, ever since Endgame, a lot of what I've been paying attention to is how storylines wrap up. That's really all I've been caring about. I haven't really cared about a lot of the new characters, to be honest. Even some of the stuff that's continued, like with Captain Marvel, I'm not trying to be mean, I just don't really care that much. Like a lot of the characters that have been kind of showing up, I'm just kind of like, cool, that's fine. I'm glad somebody loves this, but it's just not really my thing. I've been waiting to see, you know, what happens to Sam Wilson, what happens to his era of Cap, what happens to Spider-Man. And now this gives me something to look forward to. It's now no longer just that mutants are some little weird post-credit thing in, you know, the Marvels movie or a reference in the in Miss Marvel or things like that. Now we're actually seeing, you know, for real Deadpool in this universe. And I'm excited. Like, I do want to be clear. I'm not just excited for Hugh Jackman. I love Ryan Reynolds. I love what he does. I think he's hilarious. And you know what? I think he's a really good sport about everything. I think his Green Lantern, you know, digs, I should say, in his Deadpool movies show that. I love that he's a fan. And I love to see fans of these characters interacting with them, playing them, and having such a big influence on the writing and direction of them. That's something I'm really excited about. It's something the Marvel Universe needs more of, because to be honest, I think a lot of the writers that they've had post-Endgame, I don't think they've really understood what made the MCU so fun. I don't think they really understood what made people connect with it. And I think the fact that people aren't connecting with a lot of it kind of shows that. So I'm really hoping that this is a step in the right direction. If nothing else, I get to see two of my favorite characters ever, interact on screen. I get a blast from my childhood, and I'm excited. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content. I will be doing more film videos as well going forward. I know I don't get to them all the time, but I am actually working on a Die Another Day review for 007. I'm hoping that will go up tomorrow. That is my goal after this video, but we'll, fingers crossed, we'll see, because it's definitely a process. Secondly, we do have our own store, or shop as you would call it, which is cosmobunny.shop. And you might think, well, Jay, what do you sell there? Canned farts from yourself? Great idea. We're not there yet. But right now what we are doing is actually selling comic book coasters, keychains, and of course as well trays. These are things that can go into your own house and actually be used to preserve some of this art. And you might think, well, Jay, you talk about media preservation, you're cutting up comic books, or you're cutting up manga? Well, what is this? These are things that actually cannot be sold by local stores near me. These are things that can't be sold, and what we do is we take them and we actually save them from going in landfills, because unfortunately a lot of them here are not being recycled. And what we do is we turn them into really cool repurposed things for your home. Some of these are keychains, like I can show you here. This is one of my favorite keychains actually as well right here. I absolutely love it. But Jill is able to take this stuff and turn it into very, very beautiful pieces of art that I think have a lot of utility. They have a lot of use. They're not just something that sits in your house. They actually, serve a purpose. You want to protect your nice little desk. You want to protect your nice table from leaving rings on it from your drink. Here you go. Here's something right here, because unfortunately I've been in a lot of comic book stores and they've had conversations as well, because recycling here is expensive for businesses. And a lot of this stuff just ends up in the trash. I've heard them say, do you want to sell this? No, we can't sell this. This is too damaged. And into the trash it goes. Literally, they'll say, throw it away. And it hurts my soul every time. But we need people to support it. We need people to check it out and support a small business, because Jill is doing good work. I absolutely love it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm excited for Deadpool. I'm excited for you to check stuff like this out. And if you want a discount, actually, there is a code DJAY123 for 10% off your first purchase on the site. And it also is our Fortnite creator code. And I did also want to show a couple more things off here as well, which I thought were really, really cool. But I'm excited for all this stuff. I hope you all have a fantastic day. And as always, everybody, stay shway, leave a like, subscribe, check out our other channels. JayRPG just started. Check it out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's in the description. Bye.